Let's bring in our next guest. We just heard his message moments ago, so let's bring in Emil Ruusuvuori into the show. There he is. Emil, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Jeff here with Vicky Duval, Nick Monroe. Want to just thank you for taking the time to hang out with us and tell us where you are and what your routines are looking like these days.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. Nick, nice to see you.
Good to see you, man.
I'm back home in Helsinki, Finland at the moment. Half here, half in Barcelona at the moment. I have a second home in a little bit warmer place at the moment, so that's where I'm bouncing between these two places.
Nice.
Emil, thanks so much for joining us, man. I know we were talking on the phone just a couple days ago and was just really excited to try to get you on the show. We've been around each other, practiced with each other, and I know that now the mental health message has come out from you, and maybe you can just kind of go into that for some of the fans that are watching this right now who maybe haven't seen your message and kind of how this all started and how you're feeling now.
Yeah, I think the best way to kind of make people understand. I don't know if you guys probably have seen the documentary about Marty Fish.
Yes.
Yep.
On Netflix.
So when I watched that one, it's like looking at the mirror. Okay. So it's like very similar. Started with a few panic attacks here and there, then progressively got worse. I was able to push through many years without really feeling too good on tennis court, and then it went outside the tennis court, affected my personal life a lot, and then it came to a stop. And after that, started the worst period. So it was also outside the court. Didn't really have or get joy of anything in life anymore. And then now I'm slowly getting back to it.
And, we're on the grass courts now here. And I know at Wimbledon last year, you had made the third round and you mentioned that you kind of wanted to just run off the court. How were you feeling at that point, at this time of the year, when you decided like, hey man, I can't do this anymore?
Yeah, it was very weird part of the year, or in my life overall. I somehow beat McDonald in the first round, facing match points, then beat Tsitsipas, and then third round I played against Mpetshi. And from that match, I have like a set and a half or two sets that I don't really have any memory of. Wow. Like I completely blacked out, didn't had a panic attack on court, and yeah, that's a very surreal feeling to have on one of the best places to play tennis in the world. So it was very strange.
Emil, I know you don't know me, but I've enjoyed watching you a lot, and I just want to thank you for being how open and honest you are about your mental health. I think it's so important that people can get an insight on what it's like and what players deal with. You've talked about working with a therapist. I know for a lot of people it can be scary to go into therapy because they can't find the right person. So what was it that you looked for in finding the right therapist, and what tools have they given you to help you?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, first of all, I have to say that's one of the things in life overall that gives me the most joy at the moment, if I can help somebody else. Mm-hmm. So I started first time already like more than 10 years ago. Obviously not for this reason, but with some other things. And then for the last year, I've been working with them every week or even 2 times a week. So it's a lot about accepting the feelings, accepting how you feel, being okay with it, and then having the tools to, if you need to calm down or whatever. So that's something I'm daily still practicing. And then I'm also working with, I'm a co-founder now we're building an app to help. For me, this was the main thing, to help people, lower the barrier to seek for help. Mm-hmm. So it's going to come out in 1 or 2 months, but that was the idea for me. And just if I can help somebody, that's the main thing for me now.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned it, you stayed away from the game for several months, like a big break. And knowing all the routines you've had to go through your whole life with tennis, that must have been so strange to not have, those just tennis goals every day and practice and training. In that time, was there any attempt to were there any new interests or hobbies that got into your routines to almost in a way pass the time or to focus on anything different?
Yeah, I mean, that's one piece of advice I can give, that don't jump from playing 8 years or 6 years on tour and plus the junior years and then don't do anything. That's not a good combination, because it's too big, the difference in life overall. But at that moment, I wasn't really, like I said, I didn't get joy really in anything. I wasn't really able to do it. So, but I didn't have too much, and that's not good. I was playing some paddle and doing some things, but now since I'm not competing, I did the opposite. So I made sure I had some other interests in life, and you need something to do. Otherwise, you get bored, and it's just not good for you as a human being.
Emil, kind of take us through that timeline a little bit, because you played Wimbledon, making it the third round, and then I know you did come back to play some challengers even this year. I know you were playing in Korea and before that. So kind of you decided you wanted to come back, but then now taking a little bit of a break again. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So I played after Wimbledon last year. I still went to Washington and even Montreal, but I pulled out, telling that it was like a stomach flu or whatever. Right. But I was just in a terrible place, and after that I decided to stop. And then I started practicing again in December. Played the first tournaments in February, and around 8 tournaments. But yeah, tricky. I had one match that I was actually enjoying, playing tennis again. And that's it. And the other ones were very, very difficult. Even, they're just small triggers. Like we went to Korea, and we drove first time to the tournament site, and just seeing the tournament signs, like something snapped inside, and I was like completely somewhere else again. And practice, it didn't happen. And the tournaments went how they went. But let's say it's still an ongoing process.
What do you wish that people understood more about the mental and physical side of playing on tour? Because obviously there's a lot of things behind the scenes that people don't have insight on, and it's obviously a hard life. So if you were to explain what the life is like on the tour, not only from your training but competing, what would you say to people?
Yeah, I mean, it's very often seen as a glamorous lifestyle, and it must be so nice to travel and just practice and play, but that's quite far from the truth. It's an enormous amount of pressure every day to be a little bit better, because everybody else is competing at such a high level. So it's like the constant pressure, and traveling, I think it's one of the worst things, and that's something you need to learn to deal with and find your own way to do it. And that's a little bit the problem for me, that I didn't really find my way to do it. I wasn't enjoying being at the tournaments, and I was always just kind of pushing my limits, and that's why I will say my career was a little bit up and down.
Linda Noskova up early break in the second set. We're hanging out with Emil Ruusuvuori. If one reads about your stories and you describe these, some of these panic attacks very vividly, and it's amazing to think that you're actually going through these pro sports routines and training and actually winning some matches as you're going through it. Like, in a strange way, knowing what you've been through up until this point and what you're still attempting to overcome, can you draw like any inspiration or confidence from that, knowing that I've been through this and I've done this as I'm going through this difficult time, and then maybe thinking what can come of your career in the future if you are in that right mental space?
Yeah, I need to look at it also in that way, to just see what I've done, how good I was hitting the ball, and that's something I've been trying to find back, but it's just not there yet. And I'm waiting for the burn inside to grow a little bit, and then when I actually really, really want to compete, that's when I'm gonna do it. But so far, that has not been the case yet.
I mean, what advice would you give to young tennis players or young athletes that are playing in these pressure situations, right? I mean, I remember when I was a little kid, 14, 15, 16, we lose matches, we're crying, we're upset. Is there anything that you learned that you would tell yourself, maybe as a little kid, that, hey, this is a better way to get through it? And then on top of that, what percentage, with these ATP and WTA players, we work so hard on the court, so hard off the court, but not a lot of people work with a psychologist. What percentage of the time do you think they should be working with a psychologist, and should that be a part of the day-to-day?
For the first question, I will say you need to learn to separate tennis and you. They're two completely different things. So for me, it was not like that. Like I was as good as a person as my results were, and that's very, very toxic relationship to have. And I'm still haven't found a way, but that's something that you really, really need to understand already from a very young age, I would say, and just grow as a person, as a athlete mostly, and then try to bring it on the tennis court. And for the help from the psychologist, I think it's very individual, but it's I think it's good to have someone. It doesn't have to be a psychologist if you don't want to, but I think you need someone in your life that you can tell everything openly, without any, that you leave something out, but you need somebody that you can share everything. It doesn't have to be your coach. It can be somebody totally different, but I think that's very, very good to have.
Because I think a lot of players see it sometimes as a weakness when they need to seek help and don't want to because of that. They think that, oh, I'm weak, or somebody's going to think that I don't have everything together. But you're saying, hey, if you need help, seek it out from a psychologist or someone close to you.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's why also I didn't, or when I had the first panic attack in Miami, like 4 or 5 years ago, it's like you just keep it inside. It's like you're in a surrounding that you can't show it because they're all like such a big competitors that anything you show they're gonna use, and that's how so it's like you can't show it. And that's a little bit what I feel also from the ATP. They have the psychologists at the tournaments, but even just taking the step to go there and somebody sees you go there, it's like the first idea is that they're going through something,
right?
And everybody is going through something. You can't forget that, but it's like I think there could be a better structure to it.
Yeah, I can only imagine that these types of issues, tennis is probably the toughest sport to go through it because of all the points you just said. Like the locker room at a pro tennis event is way different than a locker room when you're on a team or in a team sport. But there have been other players, Emil, like yourself, that have spoken up about their own mental health issues. Do you think that just the players in sharing these stories, has that brought like the tennis locker room and players closer together in a way as people share this? Like just because everyone then feels like they're on kind of maybe going through the same thing and can relate a little bit?
Well, honestly, I haven't been in the locker room for a while, so I don't know what's going on there now, but I think, it's a rising topic, and so many more players are talking about the calendar, for example. And I honestly, for me, I think there needs to come a change to it. It's crazy the schedule. It doesn't make any sense. For me, it's not a surprise that it's rising all the time, and more people are speaking more openly about it.
Yeah, you're right. Casper Ruud has talked a lot about, kind of the mental health issues and the struggles that he's had. So what can we look forward to from you now, Emil? What's kind of the game plan? I know when we were speaking, you were discussing maybe taking a protected or something like that. When can we maybe see you back on the court?
Yeah, I'm practicing a little bit at the moment, playing more golf actually.
Nice. Tennis, what's the handicap?
Now it's 16.8, so slowly. I just started this year.
All right.
I'm keeping myself in shape. So once I get the feeling that I want to compete, then I'm ready. But for now, I'm just working on this new project with the guys back home, building this app to help more all athletes in the world and more people. So it's to have many things to do, and then once I get, hopefully, let's say in the fall, I will be back.
I'm sure a lot of your fellow athletes at home appreciate the message you're sending. We appreciate your time just coming on the show as we watch some tennis and get some more insight. Just thank you for taking the time, and thank you for what you're hoping to accomplish for all your peers out there. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Emil.
Okay, take care.
Enjoy
Emil.
the day, buddy. Thanks, man.